Ladies and gentlemen, the most interesting man in the world is not a salesman for a Mexican beer company. He is a truth seeker. He is a journalist. He is a world traveler who visits ancient sacred sites and writes books about a lost civilization. He also probes the nature of consciousness itself by occasionally imbibing the odd psychoactive plant. In other words, I fucking love this guy. Graham Hancock, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me on the show. Nice to see you.
Listen, I'm going to get this out of the way quickly because we have a lot of material to get through.
Okay.
You are one of the inspirations for this show. When I created the show in my mind, I had a guest list. I had a dream guest list of 3 people.
Right.
Elon Musk, David Bowie, Graham Hancock.
Wow. I'm in great company there.
All right, so here we are, and I'm very excited. So let's jump right into it because we have a very brief time and some very big ideas to express, which are my favorite kinds. There is a saying that you coined that is often identified with you, and I think it's brilliant, which is that we are a civilization with amnesia. And today I want to talk about a little bit about why we have that amnesia. So let's jump straight into the book. This book is Magicians of the Gods. Tell me, what is Göbekli Tepe and what's this?
The heck is this? Well, these are 2 rocks I found while out collecting rocks, because I like rocks. This is just a rock, right? Well, this was found about, about 15 miles from where I found this rock. This one was found on the edge of a creek, and this one was found on top of a ridge near a creek, not too far away. Very interesting thing about both these rocks, are not very large, as you can see by the triple A's in the background. They're not very big, but they're big enough to tell a few things. I'm going to take my magnifying glass, and we're going to have a look at these. See the similarities in these things are immense. This is the face, and you can see there's an eye of this pyramid right here. The way the old-time ancients used to mine would be they would start by directing water over the top of a mound. Were they glacier moraines or something else? Well, interesting eyeball though, isn't it? So this is found in the Cascadia Mountains. Very similar to a lot of the material found in Vermont by my friend Paleo Mountain Man Jimmy. Yep. Indian artifacts, you might say. If India was in Egypt, I suppose. You see the similarities in these rocks are really amazing. Found in 2 different locations, they each have a number of the similar features. Excuse me, I can't say similar. Similar features. So that's the back side of that one. Oh, that's the back side of that one. I guess you can't really see that very well, but let's see if we can fix that up. Oh yeah, gotta get those things over. So they say, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, could be a pyramid. kind of hard to take pictures of rocks, but you know, it's worth the effort. They're very small rocks, no bigger than a quarter or dime. But look at the artwork in these things. They've been formed and they've been scribed. And the angles are so much amazingly the same basically on both rocks. Sorry, kitty. Stepped on my cat's foot. But if you look really close on this, you can see a lot of fine work. Telling the story and location of their life in this rock. This is not the first, second, or even the third rock that I found that has so much information in it. That's why I call it the dirt library, you see. This is either a piece of serpentine or a piece of jade. Wow. Very interesting piece. See any writing on that? Looks like a cross or a T. Very reminiscent to me of early languages like Phoenician, many other languages. They wrote them in the stone, their own symbols of the languages they used to keep track. Probably part of the training of the day. Sorry about my dirty fingernails. I do work sometimes. And I like to use my hands when I work. Just a little rock. I noticed it because of its shape. But you can tell a skilled artisan worked on this. It's like a horse at the top over on the right side. Horse head if you turn it. Or is it a dinosaur? I'm not sure. Looks like a snake. What this actually is, it looks like an aerial view of a megalopolis. A lot of things. There's dinosaurs in the middle of that thing. Well, they called them dragons back in the day, Talit, or whatever else you want to call them, in any other language. They were masters of shading and shadow and light, interplay with rocks in so many different ways. Each rock tells us something. There's a story on each one. When a man is, or a woman, who knows, when a crafts person has put their mark upon it. It's like an old tooth that an ancient decided to go ahead and put their mark on. Made into an arrowhead. It's quite the arrowhead, isn't it? Even locates where the tooth came from. You see the tooth? You see the head on the right at the top and the hair up here? It changes, believe me. There's a lot of pictures right in there. It's very interesting stuff, really. They were excellent workmen. Look at that work. Oh, let me show you the point. Ooh, yeah. That point would definitely stick. Oops. Hey, I found this in a gravel pile. Not a gravel pile, but my gravel driveway. It came from around the area where I live, because that's where the gravel was mined. Look at that. What is that? Looks like a head and another head, isn't it? Another face. Look at that. Jimmy, you got some really good stuff, but I'd have to say that this civilization was all across the United States. Don't you see the redhead giants? Yeah. A lot of other things going on there. And the baby. Wow. Because the shaking there, I'm kind of tired. It's the angle I'm holding this thing at. It's kind of difficult, but look at how many different faces are in the stone. Where do you think they got the name facets from the face? There's no way we could recreate this kind of artwork. I mean, it's truly amazing. Wow, man. Rocks that speak but don't say anything. The underside of the pyramid. And then that's the pyramid, and that's the underside. Are they similar? Quite. They both have faces written in them. And if you really got close on this one, you could see you have to have exactly the right lighting though. You can see the fine work in there, the details. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Let's bring up that photo of the Younger Dryas because this is the time we need to segue into the background and explain what this is, because a large part of this book is about this period in time of the Younger Dryas, and some of my audience may know what it is, many may not. Explain briefly what we're talking about. It's a phenomenon that's been known about for many decades. We have very good climate records of the last ice age and of the last 20,000 years.
As I say, the lighting has to be just right. There's the king of this mountain, right there in the middle. See that fine detail coming out? Talk about moi. Anyway, that's enough time looking at these little rocks. There's plenty to see. Plenty to see. Just a piece of rock, you know. Like this piece of rock here. Take a trip back in time to what the Earth looked like when the giants were on the land and the dragons were roaming. Aye. A lot to that stone. Can't be done in just a few minutes. Really can't. Neither could the sheer work involved in this stone be done in just a minute. When I say stone, obviously it's an ingot of sorts. It might be the small white metal. I don't know what that is. Wow, is there a lot of 411 right here? He's holding up his transit. Or is that he just holding his seas from that? Maybe that is. Anyway, there's a lot of conjecture. What's in there? There's a lot of things in there. A lot of things going on. I'm gonna keep looking at it and see if I can find somebody who can help me interpret it. That wouldn't be too bad, would it? Not for now.